As a father, I always thought that you will be a doctor or be in the healing profession. Then when you started excelling in engineering, graphics and design, and you said, oh, I like engineering, I thought, okay, maybe this girl won't be a doctor one day, she'll be an engineer one day. So I bought you steel tip boots, and up to now I still have it. And then when you gave your presentation in Durban, South Africa, in Overport, at the Maranatha Church, I think it was, I remember you saying that resilient learning and excelling in school gives you options and choices. Tell us a little bit about that.
I love this because I don't want anybody to feel like they cannot do this and that's why they're doing this, right? I don't want anyone to feel that way. I want everybody, every person who does resilient learning to be able to choose what they want to do with their lives. But that's hard, right? Because in the way our university systems are sort of designed and the way that the world works, we sort of tell people, oh, you didn't do well in this, you didn't do well in this, so those doors are closed for you now, and this is the only one that you've managed to keep open, so that's where you need to go in life, right? And then it's sad to just settle for that if that's not what you wanted. What if you wanted this? But the key in that is you cannot be mad at the system. You cannot say, oh, the system is messed up and that's why I can't do what I want to do. You need to acknowledge the fact that this system exists. And you need to learn how to play that system.
Manipulate the system to your advantage.
Yes, you need to say, okay, this is how the system works. I need to make sure the doors that I want to be open stay open for me, so that in the end, I can choose which door I want to walk through. But to do that is hard. Because how can you keep all of these doors open? How much must you study? How can you do well in this and this and this and this to make sure you have all these doors open? And that is difficult. I'm not denying that. But I think with resilient learning, we are not just teaching them how to keep these two doors open, right? We are teaching them how to enable themselves and how to build on themselves so that they can use their potential to keep their doors open and use those skills so that at the end of the day or at the end of their schooling journey, they have these skills that they don't need to figure out what to do now. They have these options and they can choose.
So doing well in school.
Yes.
It boils down to grades, Leanne.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Resilient learning helps students do well in school.
Get good grades.
Get good grades in school. And what that means is that they have these options.
And choices. And
right?
Lee.
Because we could teach people how to do well in physics. And that would give them the door for this, right? But we're not teaching our students how to do well in physics. We're not teaching them how to do well in math. We're teaching them how to do well in life. And in their studies.
In any subject.
Yes. And in that way, we are giving them the choice of where they want to go. Because they will be doing well in all of their different subjects. And at the end of the day, that will give them the choice of where they want to go in their life.
Lee, I've been preaching for 35 years. And I've always been saying that one of the greatest gifts God gave us is the freedom of choice. So when we limit our choices, we are actually not living in fullness of that gift.
And we're caging ourselves.
Yes. And one of the reasons, or one of the ways we limit those choices as a young person, it breaks my heart when I see young people don't have options in front of them. And we can blame the system, we can say politics, we can blame everyone else. But the reality is that when you get good grades in school, you have more options. You have more options. And in order to get good grades, that's a critical part. And resilient learning, yes, it develops a student, change their growth, help them to have a growth mindset, build their own self-worth and esteem, and guide them towards making good decisions that they can apply in school and beyond school. Yes, resilient learning does all of that. But the deciding factor regarding options is how well they do academically, and it boils down to better grades. Better grades equate to more options. I mean, think about it. You had a choice between engineering, medicine, law, whatever you wanted to do, you could have done. You even received a scholarship for aeronautical engineering, which you turned down.
Because I could.
And you were able to, you could, simply because you did well.
Yes.
You had
The options.
options. And the options, let's just retrace it, okay? Options and choices is a privilege, right? That is there simply because of good grades. And in order to get good grades, you need a good coach. And since everyone can't afford a good coach, we have Resilient Learning, which is the online academic coaching program.
We are that coach.
We are that coach,
Yes.
right? And because of technology, we are able to reach any child, any student,
their space.
At their own
Pace.
in their own time,
Yeah.
in their own space, and help them excel. So Resilient Learning is that coaching program that prepares a student to study and do well and handle life well, get better grades, and when they get better grades, especially when they're exiting high school, that better grades gives them options. And in having options, therein lies our freedom.
Yes.
Sometimes
And happiness.
Put it here. I like it. Because sometimes when you're doing something you don't really want to do, you can't be happy. So Resilient Learning actually contributes to our overall happiness in life.
Yes.
And as a parent, I want my children to be happy. And if Resilient Learning is going to make them happy, and not just in school and beyond school, but for life, and that is where my happiness lies, in the happiness of my children. So I like it, and I never think about it this way, but Resilient Learning gives you options, which leads to happiness. I like it. Let's say it together. Resilient Learning gives you options that leads to happiness.